Well, Jojo was like, at some point, he was like, I can't lane, guys.
$1 million for Vulcan? Like,
Well, personally, I'm a little bit biased, you might say. I think that's probably the best NA team ever, right?
I do rock climbing, and there's this guy who looks just like you. And every time I meet him at the gym, I tell him, like, I just call him by Vulcan. And then he's like, my girlfriend plays League. She knows Vulcan. She says, I don't look like him. One day I'll take a picture and show you. I think he does look like you.
That sounds good. Funny story.
I'm joined with Vulcan after pretty much stomping 100 Thieves. I'm sure David isn't very happy about that. But could you maybe run me through those games? Because really, it seemed like you guys outclassed 100 Thieves.
Honestly, game one was pretty slow. Like, we went to the grubs and we thought we'd be able to win the fight, but it wasn't the easiest against their champs. So I'm happy like we didn't throw ourselves like head first against the wall and lose, because their champs are kind of strong in that situation. Like Poppy Leona, like their best hope is that they get like a combo or Poppy stomps someone into the wall. Leona flashes on them, ignite, and then we get one shotted. So I'm glad we like took it slow. And even though like we went there, we tried to fight. I think we ended up getting a kill, and then we left. We were like, okay, this is too hard. We give the grubs. So I was glad we like just conceded them, because in the past I feel like maybe we would like might trick ourselves into thinking it's a good fight and then just keep going, and then it would be a disaster. So I'm glad with how it went. But yeah, game one overall I think was much slower than I expected. Like we actually had to sweat for our game. I don't think they ever came close to winning, right? And we were in control for most of the time. But yeah, it was like, okay, like we need to focus up and do the right things, because their comp also scales pretty well. They have like 3 tanks, Izir, Kaisa. And then yeah, that was game one. And game two was a bit wilder. We did a lot of mistakes, I think, that we should not be doing on stage. I think our scrims like snuck through a little bit in that game, and I wasn't too happy about that. But yeah, I think I played well individually today, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I thought your Alistar play especially was pretty clean. What is the like? How do you reel yourself back when you have Thanatos basically winning the game level 3, killing the brand jungle, and then Jojo dying 3 or 4 times in the mid lane? Like, who is that person that calms the game down, says, hey guys, look, let's refocus up?
Well, Jojo was like, at some point, he was like, I can't lane, guys. And then I think me and Barbara were telling him, like, it's fine, we're not going to smurfing. Like, I was just like, try your best, I guess. Like, you should try and farm as much as possible. It's hard in those matchups when you're like 2 ADCs and you lose, because then like the other guy can just run at you. So it becomes like way harder to do anything as the Lucian there. But I think he did a good job himself of like remaining calm, and then we fought 2v2 bot, killed the Ashe, he got a kill. So we slowly got back. He got back in the game, and then I think he was in a fine spot later on. So yeah, it was a bit of everyone. I think helped. Thanatos was saying how fed he was, and he's gonna carry the game. So yeah.
All right. I've been following you since basically you joined Clutch, their academy, and then you ended up getting promoted and whatnot. So I've watched your career for a long time, and I remember when you joined Cloud9 in 2020. It was like $1 million buyout. We've never seen anything like it. And I remember people saying, like, $1 million for Vulcan? Like, why was everyone trying to get Vulcan? He was on Clutch. They went 0-6 at Worlds. And then you guys came, you and Sven, boot camped in Korea, came back. 2020 Cloud9 was like probably the most dominant Cloud9 we've ever seen. That you guys completely stomped everyone. It must have felt really good to win that, even though it was COVID. Could you compare maybe that Cloud9, that 2020 Cloud9 that was like a super team, just completely dominated everyone, to this current 2024 Cloud9, where you were supposed to be like that 2020 Cloud9? You were supposed to completely dominate everyone. You guys were the shoo-in for first place.
It's a good question. I think I don't think our current C9 compares to 2020 C9 at our peak, because I think, well, personally, I'm a little bit biased, you might say. I think that's probably the best NA team ever, right? When we were like in spring and doing so well, and everything like clicked super easily. The game was super smooth. We all knew what we wanted from each other. When we communicated, we knew instantly like what we were trying to say or like what we were trying to do. And we're not quite there yet in this current iteration. I'd say we definitely we probably have better individuals across the board. I'd say like maybe by a landslide. But it's just about like getting on that level where we can be on the same page super quickly during the game, because we can be on the same page outside the game when we look at the review and we're like, oh yeah, obviously we should do that. But if we're not able to align during the game, then it doesn't mean anything. And I think we're not quite there yet, but it's getting better. I think we were like really terrible at this specifically during spring, and it's still a work in progress. We still have moments like, for example, today, where we're not on the same page, and it looks like we're kind of trolling the game, which we are, by like doing different things. And so we're not there yet, but yeah, like you said, I think looking at the players, we should be able to have the same run as we had back then. Although I will say that the other top teams in TL and Fly are better than any like other teams that we played against back then. At least the other top teams. Yeah, I don't know about like the middle of the pack or bottom tier teams, but I'd say that FlyQuest and TL right now are better competition for anyone than the competition we had back then. Even though whenever people talk about 2020 C9, they like to claim that the league was so trash and that's why we look so dominant. I don't think it was the case like that badly. But yeah, today the teams are better. And so, yeah, we're trying to get there. I think we'll get there.
All right. I did want to ask, you had a lot of criticism towards you, especially during spring, right? You go to FlyQuest, you don't do that great. You don't even make playoffs. You come to Cloud9, you don't do that great. You guys end up finishing third, but I mean, you won like 4-game losing streak. It looked a little rough. How does that like affect you in terms of like your confidence? Especially, you know, Jack is known to not really to like change players once he feels like they're not necessarily there. Your top laner changed, your coach changed. Like, how much pressure does that put on you personally?
I mean, the pressure has always been there, so it's not like it's overwhelming or anything. My confidence was definitely like at an all-time low after the FlyQuest split. Because even though like the team was really bad, I was part of that and I wasn't playing well at all. And like there was moments where I'm like griefing the game and I look back at it like, what the fuck am I doing? And yeah, like going into spring with C9, I think my confidence was so low. And so, I don't know, playing League is a lot about confidence. Like if you know you go into a situation and you're going to win, you know exactly how you're going to play it, obviously you're more likely to come out on top. And it was like, it's like a bit up and down since the FlyQuest days. So I'm like, I don't know, playing solo queue, trying to get back at like the top level that I know I can like show. I'm not exactly there yet, but I think I'm getting there. I'm much more comfortable now than I was in spring or during FlyQuest. I think when I like at any point during the game, I'm much more aware of what should be done, or like what I should be doing, or what I should say, so that my team aligns with me, and that comes from confidence. If I don't feel confident in what we should do, then I can't tell my team what we should do, and I think that's a big thing about support is like you can dictate a lot of the play. So, yeah, I'm more confident now. I think I'm much more consistent this split so far compared to how I was last split, and yeah, I don't worry about, I don't know, being replaced or whatever. I think I'm sure at some point it'll happen where I'm dog shit, and I don't want to play League of Legends as a pro if I'm dog shit. So I'm not going to be like bouncing around on bottom teams, I think. And when my times come, I'll leave. I don't think my time's come yet. So yeah.
All right. Will we see you maybe stream, maybe do some duo queue with XQC again?
I'm down if he's down. Streaming, I don't know. Streaming's not really my forte. So after I retire, I don't know if you guys will see me again, but we'll see. I don't think it's very soon.
All right. I mean, I hope to see you play for a very long time. Like I said, I've been watching you for a very long time and been enjoying it. Got a quick would you rather questions.
Okay.
Would you rather have Jojo play jungle or have Blabber play mid?
Jojo play jungle, I think. Blabber is so bad at laning. It's funny. Like he plays Kai'Sa AD sometimes when he's off roll, or sometimes he'll even QAD. And like he plays the champion well and he team fights well, but every single lane it'll be like 0-2, 0-3. Like he'll start the lane with a couple deaths. And actually his mid lane is not bad, I think. Like he plays a Kali and Yon. He has his champs, but I think Jojo jungle. I think Jojo has a good mind for the game, and mid lane is like the most transferable role because you have to do like, you play the most different type of champs. You have to like be aware of support and jungle, how it works, so that you can like know when they're gonna be here or stuff like that. So I think mid lane is the easiest to roll swap from, and I think Jojo would pick up jungle pretty fast. So yeah, easily Jojo jungle.
All right, he might not know exactly how the champions work. Though he didn't know Gangplank could crit on his barrels, but all right, Jojo jungle. I'm out of time. Thank you so much for the interview. I've been trying to land one with you, and I'm glad that I got it.
Thank you, Cloud. It was a good time. Good
All
night.
right, man. Take care. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Well, I kept in a little part of like what I usually cut out before I say, "Hey guys, enjoyed by Vulcan or whatever." Normally, I try to. Sometimes I'll just get right into it, but I think most of the times I'll say like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like maybe comment something here and there. Um, Normally, I take that out, but I thought it was a kind of funny story. The climbing guy, he really does look Vulcan. I'll probably post it in my YouTube, like if I ever take a picture with him, I'll post it in my YouTube community posts just so you guys can see. Like he looks like Vulcan, and maybe I'll put a poll. Actually, I'll put that picture, and then I'll put a poll, and I'll ask you guys if he looks like Vulcan or if I'm actually just like trolling. But I really think he looks like a Vulcan. Anyways, I was really excited for Vulcan. It's my first time interviewing Vulcan. I still have some people that I've never interviewed before in LCS, so it's still like I've interviewed most players right now at this point, but there are still a couple people I've still yet to interview. Boogie, it was my first time interviewing Mabry. It was my first time interviewing Vulcan, so it's really exciting. I got some cool, exciting things for the channel. I know it's been a little bit slow. I'm not entirely sure why, but it feels like after the break, maybe just I didn't do a good enough job during the break to hype up anything, and so it's kind of a bit sleeper, especially this month of July. But I'm trying to think of different things I can do to really bring some energy into LCS. And yeah, hopefully I got some cool stuff coming. And going into playoffs, I just got approved for finals weekend earlier today. And yeah, I'm just looking forward. It's been so much fun. Like this is really a hobby to me. And eventually, if it grows big enough, I might turn it into like more of a business. But right now, it's just I'm doing what I like. It's a hobby. You guys get to see it too. And yeah, I'll be streaming once this comes out. It should come out 11 EST. 4 hours later, I will be streaming. So come, give me some suggestions if you want, hang out, chat, whatever it is, even if it's just to come say hi. Like if you've never been on one of my live streams before here on YouTube or on Twitch, just come say hi and just leave. No pressure. But yeah, it's nice to see your names because I see you guys that comment or some people don't, that leave likes. I can't really see the likes, but some people tweet at me. That's really cool. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or I guess once this come out, it'll be in 4 hours. I'll see you guys in 4 hours. All right, bye.